Welcome to another episode of Suck Less, the third one. No, I'm not going to teach you how to play that song because that song has way too many parts. It'd take me 20 minutes to show you how to do it, and I'm not doing it. Besides, I'm not here to teach you how to play songs. I'm here to teach you how to suck less at playing them. If you want to learn how to play that song, there is one particular video on YouTube that is 20 minutes long that shows you all the parts. That's the only part that I know, because I'm currently learning that one. And something came to my mind while learning this song. I have not been able to, that's my favorite Ozzy song. Go ahead, give me all the flack you want. I don't care. That is my favorite Ozzy song. That's by my favorite Ozzy guitarist, bar none. So it occurred to me while I was learning this that, Jakey Lee was an interesting character. He the stuff that he writes is, was there any? No, there wasn't a power chord in that whole thing. I think there's only one power chord in that whole song. Anyway, so one of the things that came to my mind while I'm learning this song is the fact that a lot of times when we learn guitar, we learn it by ourselves. We stand in our rooms, like this one, my geeky room, or if we are fortunate enough to have our own space, we just do it at home. A lot of people are too shy to play in front of people. And that's fine, you'll get over that eventually, because what other reason is there to play guitar than to show off? That's what guitarists are, right? They're show-offs. Yeah? Yeah. Because bass players sure aren't show-offs. That's a joke, people. It's a joke. Anyway, one of the things about Jakey Lee, and actually a lot of those 80s shredder virtuoso guitar god dudes, was the fact that they hung out with each other. Jakey Lee was great friends with Warren DeMartini from Rat. They used to get together and show each other what they came up with. It's like, hey Warren, man, check this out. And he's like, whoa, dude, that's cool. Check out what I came up with. And then they would go back and forth and try to impress each other, basically. They were measuring dicks, which is another thing that guitarists do, is they measure dicks, because... Anyway, we're going to leave that alone. But my point is, if you're learning guitar and you're just kind of plateauing, I don't think I could go any further, a great thing to do is to find other people that play guitar. I did it when I was learning. I had a few really good friends that were also learning how to play guitar at the same time I was, and we would get together, and if I figured something out, I couldn't wait to show up and show them what I had learned. And I would sit down and show them what I'd learned, and they'd go, what? Show me how to do that. And then they would do the same back at me. I learned so much just doing that. A lot of people get together and jam, but they don't really learn. There's a difference between just jamming and learning. Anybody can go to a open jam and just wheedle away and call it a night, but if you pay close attention to what other people are doing, I like how... I really like how he does that. How do you do that? Show me how you do that. Show me how you vibrato. And how did you make that squeal? Well, here, I'll show you. A really good friend of mine who's no longer with us, sadly, showed me how to do that. It took me days to figure that out. Literally. I was sitting there, and then all of a sudden, it just whoa, it just happened. Showed me how to do it, but you know, you have to take it home. Whatever you're shown, you have to take home and practice it. So, playing with other people, learning from them, it opens the floodgates. So that's what you want to, that's what you want to do. Then you take it home and you woodshed it, and then you build off of it, and you come up with really cool stuff on your own. So that's really the bulk of my lesson this time, is to don't be shy, don't be afraid to, if you figure something out, to show it off. Go, hey man, I came up with this cool chord progression, check it out. Maybe that person has, oh, that's cool, why don't you do this along with that? Growth, musicianship. Musicianship does not come with a lot of practice. Technique comes with practice, but musicianship is a completely different thing, in my opinion. There's a big difference. You can be a great technical musician and write crappy songs. And I'm not going to name the bands that I have that opinion of, because I will get lynched. But playing with other people, whether they're like-minded or not, I actually kind of encourage you to play with people that don't even play the same kind of music you do. Well, when I was learning how to play bass, I learned a lot of gospel, and y'all know me about that stuff. I learned a lot of Latin, I learned a lot of Brazilian style, I learned a lot of jazz, funk, and then I just soaking it up, and I took all that and incorporated into my style of playing, and I was able to take otherwise boring bass lines and jazz them up and make the band sound bigger, whatever band I was in playing bass, and make them sound bigger and make the sound just bigger and fuller, which is what it's all about. So yeah, that's my main lesson this time, is to just go out, don't be afraid to show off, because that's what guitarists do, they show off. All you guys do it, every single one of you, and that's great. That's why we watch you. That's why we go, wow, I want to do that. Yeah, anyway, let's cool down. One other thing I want to touch on is it's kind of a half rant, half, take heed. When you're doing that kind of stuff, and it doesn't sound like your hero, don't go out and, no, let me put this another way. Go out and buy the pedal that has his name on it. Go out and buy the guitar that has his name on it. Go out and buy the amp that has his name on it. Buy the strings they use. Buy the freaking picks that they use, because you can't have that tone without the pick. All that stuff is not going to help you sound like them. You'll have an amazing rig, but you're not going to sound like them. One of the things that kills me is everybody was trying to, sound like Van Halen. Eddie Van Halen. The brown sound. The brown sound is here. It's in your fingers. It's not in a pedal. It's not in an amp. It's not in a guitar or the strings or the pick. or the pickups, or the kind of wood it's made of. It's here. It's in your fingers. I don't know where to look. I don't know where the freaking camera is on this thing. This is my iPad. Is it there? Or is it there? Camera 1, camera 2. Camera 1. I'm guessing it's there. So, don't buy all this stuff expecting to sound like your heroes, because it's not going to happen. But you shouldn't have to, find your own sound, find your own technique. What I'm teaching you is just ideas. It's a guide. I didn't have much starting off. That's why I'm doing these. I had friends that I jammed with, and I learned a lot from them. Do that. And then you're going to arise with your own tone that nobody else is going to be able to replicate. You're going to have your own tone. So, with that, I'm going to sign off this time. I know it wasn't much of a technique or trick lesson, more of an insightful one, but I'm feeling rather insightful these days. So, adios. The next one won't be as far as the last one was, I promise. Okay, bye.